Foul day it is here in the capital city. All the same, welcome to Scrum 5. Mike Hall, it's a pig of a day. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you as well. And unfortunately, that's what's going to dictate this game this afternoon. The weather's closed in the last couple of hours, and it's going to make conditions very tricky. But probably make it a bit more of a dogfight up front, I think, and that's where the Blues may just struggle a little bit.
Here they are struggling this season. 6 defeats on the bounce.
Yeah, and I think if we look at the table, obviously the big one for the Blues is they want to try and catch the Scarlets, and they're 6 points behind at the moment. And really, if they don't win the next couple of games, you can't see them catching the Scarlets, and they're going to miss out on Europe next year.
There's a long way to look up the table. The Ospreys on top. Just to confirm how revolting it is down there, we've got Stuart on the touchline. Afternoon, Stu.
Hi Ed, you're right. Even in the comfort of your box up there, you've got the conditions right. It is a pig of the day. This 15-metre area in front of the main stand is actually holding so much water and it's so muddy at the moment. Nigel Owens, the referee, has just said he'll take all scrums in this area further into the middle of the pitch, where it is actually a lot better. But having said that, it's heavy going, and I suppose the eyes get drawn to the battle up front, the contest for possession. The loose ball especially should be a great battle between Richie Pugh and Martin Williams, I think. And Jonathan Thomas against Sidoli in the second row. Just a couple of battles there, Ed, that I'll be looking forward to this afternoon.
Cheers, Stu. OK, now then, Mike. This home three-quarter line, can it still do anything?
Yeah, I think it can. There's plenty of pace there. Johnny Vorton's got a great try against the Dragons. Nice to see him back. Shanklin back as well after that good performance. McLeod is in good form with Powell back as well. So it's a good, strong look to the back line. James
Malpas in the back row is 22 today. Robert Sidoli approaching his international form. And Gethin Jenkins going for that #1 spot with Wales.
Yeah, and you talk about form, Ed, and this Ospreys backline really is in form. And they're banging form. Shane Williams, Gavin Henson, Sonny Parker, great pair in the midfield. And Jason Spice makes him tick at half-back, playing very well this season.
Andy Lloyd comes into the back row, wearing 6 for James Beta. Jonathan Thomas, Brent Cobain in the second row, plenty of experience there. And Duncan Jones is on the bench. Paul James comes in at 1. Be very interesting up front today. I think conditions will mean that that's where it's all concentrated. No Duncan Jones, so no Gethin Jenkins or Duncan Jones.
I was looking at some of the stats earlier, and if you look at the ball carriers, the first one that the Blues got on the list is Kurt Schubert, down in 17th place. So again, line breakers. The Blues up front, they're just not doing it at the moment. There are signs last couple of weeks that they're coming back, but in a dogfight like this in these conditions, you've got to fancy those Ospreys because it's confidence there. They really are banging confidence at the moment.
Just what is it that might trigger the Blues? I mean, I saw them play against Gloucester. They were close.
Yeah, it's a win. I mean, they've lost the last 6 in all competitions, but they've lost the last 4, won a bonus point in losing. And they have, in patches, really looked the part. But I think David Young, you can see there's a little bit of desperation there from him. He knows that the players are working really hard. I mean, we've all been there, and it's once you get into that losing rut, it's very difficult to break out of it. And they just need something to happen. Win by a point with a drop goal off the post in the last minute will do them.
The struggling Blues against the high-flying Ospreys. Let's join Jonathan Davis and Gareth Charles.
Thanks very much, Ed. Yeah, and a Happy New Year to everybody, and to you as well, Jonathan. Yep, Happy New Year, everyone. And it's a shame, though. It is such a shame after the bumper crowds at the Knoll and the Dragons. What an awful day it is today. Mind you, there's a fair few stayed out of the shops and the sales to come here and watch this one as well.
It is, a disgusting day. The pitch is very, very heavy, and it's going to, as Mike said, it's going to be a game that's going to be won up front and the best kicking game, and I'm sure that with Henson kicking the ball so far out of the hand that Matthew Jones will be glad he'll be there. It's going to be interesting to see who helps McLeod out, because Craig Morgan has got to use his left foot. It's all about where the game is going to be played today, what areas of the pitch. That is going to be vitally important. It's not going to be pretty, but it's going to be very intriguing. I think, Mike said, Gareth, that what the Cardiff need. I think what they need, the pack has been going extremely well. They've got to get a bit of nastiness into that pack. They are doing well, they're competing, but you just feel that edge is missing. They're too nice, they've got to get really stuck in and turn teams over. And a little bit of, creativity and a cutting edge behind. And, the win has got to come sooner or later.
It's link arms out on the field for the Ospreys. And it's link arms inside for a final word from the captain, Martin Williams, for the Blues. They are going through tough times, but they are playing good rugby. They have played good rugby against the Dragons and against the Gloucester in the Heineken Cup, but ended up on the losing side because they are lacking that cutting edge, because the possession they had last time out there, they should maybe have won that one.
Yeah, ball retention has been good, but you just feel they run out of patience, and you know, they kick the ball away on maybe the 6th, 7th, 8th phase, where maybe with a bit of confidence they would just keep it in hand and, you know, get a penalty, get 3 points. It doesn't matter, like Mike said, no matter how you win the game, it's just getting that elusive win. And once you get it, your confidence will just grow.
The Blues 10th in the Celtic League at the moment. It's only the Borders behind them, and the Borders beat Edinburgh yesterday afternoon, so Edinburgh are within sight directly for the Blues, only a point between them. But as the boys were saying earlier, the main target for the Blues was the Scarlets, 6 points clear of them, and the final place in Europe up for grabs for next season. That very much on the minds of Martin Williams and his charges at the Arms Park. They haven't lost to a Welsh region here at the Arms Park this year. Tom Shanklin back in the fold and staying, having just signed a longer contract. And Robert Sidoli back to form in the last few weeks and pushing for a place in the Welsh side come the Six Nations next month. The two teams line up on the 15-metre line because they and the crowd at the Arms Park will observe a minute's silence for the victims of the tsunami in Southeast Asia. Silence which is being observed around sports grounds all over the UK and further afield today and over the last few days. Nigel Owens of Pontevedra, the referee, who appeared on the Jonathan Davis show on New Year's Eve on S4C last night.
Yeah, and I spoke to him before the game. You know, it's going to be a difficult game to referee today. It's going to be a lot of close work, you know, ruck to Moors, line out scrums are going to be difficult to referee, so a tough task for Nigel Owens today.
Behind, lads.
And that's the kind of skidding we can expect for the next 80 minutes or more. A mud-packed adventure lies ahead of us.
Well, it's very well taken by Jonathan Thomas, really, just went down on it.
Let him go.
Rhys Williams finds some space immediately, and that's good sense. Then hacking it on into the 22, and it's Jonathan Thomas back there again. And another superb slide and take from the Ospreys and Wales. Second row as he is this afternoon. And that's secured the possession, which has allowed Shane Williams to fumble initially, but get in a good kick in the end. It is going to be danger all around with handling this afternoon.
Yeah, very good awareness by Rhys Williams. So good chase, but not a second line there. Nothing really, pointless trying to pick that up. But again, it's Jonathan Thomas who's back there. Very, very good job. Recovering number 8, but playing second row today. And you know, the first 20 is going to be crucial because the conditions are favouring the Ospreys, the wind and the rain that are at their backs. And as the clock ticks away, they will feel under pressure now to get some points on the board.
The wind whipping up off the River Taff down towards Westgate Street. Good control by the Blues pack. Excellent work. Powell to McLeod. And Tristan Davis doing the sensible thing. Don't pass your troubles on is the watchword. And Shanklin does very well indeed in support. And again, Rhys Williams favouring the ball along the ground. Shane Williams. How much of his twinkling talents will we see today, I wonder? And the ball going forward from Rhys Williams into the hands of another Williams, Martin.
Yeah, and I think Ryan Powell has taken a nasty bump there. But it was a poor kick by Rhys Williams against these conditions. You've got to keep the ball in hand and play the touchlines. You can't give any loose ball, because what's going to happen is you're going to pump the ball downfield and get good field position. So you've got to play tight, play the touchline, and that does not look good for Ryan Powell.
He is in a great deal of pain, Ryan Powell.
You were the only, I deemed it you were the only man in. That's why
He's
I allowed you to
played
take
the
it down,
last
okay?
5
Because you're
games
the
after
first one to
injury
take it down.
earlier in the
When you
season.
keep it up, be careful, okay?
He's been very unlucky with injury, hasn't he, Ryan Powell?
Accidental,
So
not a problem then.
just hopefully it's just a bump and nothing's torn or twisted in the joint. It doesn't look good.
It's Dean Dewdney who's cover on the bench. He's cover for scrum half, and of course the wing.
Gone forward accidentally here, okay? That's why I'm giving a scrum, not a penalty, all right? Okay? Wasn't deliberate.
Referee Nigel Owens just explaining that he's given the scrum rather than the penalty for offside against Martin Williams, because it came from an accidental knock-on.
Okay. Cheers, mate. Thank you.
There he is there, just back there. Oh, and I think he's hyperextended it. I think that's the term. Very similar to what happened to Scott Gibbs when he had a nasty knee injury, but hopefully he can run it off.
Stay down, leave him, don't touch him.
Ryan Jones with a pickup, breaks the first tackle into the Blues 22. Andy Lloyd, he's the one change in the Ospreys pack this afternoon from the team that beat the Scarlets. Skipper Barry Williams sets it up. Jason Spice, there's a snipe initially, then just offloads to Adrian Durston. Again Ryan Jones, head down charge into the heart of the Blues defence. Patient build-up by the Ospreys, keeping ball in hand, controlling it in difficult circumstances. And it's just boiling up in the opening minutes.
Away nine.
It's the two former Ponty boys getting to know each other a bit better. Gethin Jenkins and Sonny Parker.
Get away.
Get on a New Year's kiss, sir.
Time out. 1:13, please. Come here. Captains, Martin and Barry, please come here as well. I have no idea what was the cause of it, because I was going with play. Okay? Be quiet, please. I don't want to stop play and come back with silly nonsense like that. You hit that deck and the tackle and involved, you roll away, get up and get on with the game. If I'm going to speak to you again, I may well do it differently. When you've got some blood there, just get it cleared off, just get it wiped. We're going to have a scrum, you in possession, you a ball. No more, please. Have a quick word with them, both of you.
I think he managed that extremely well, Nigel Owens. He just told him to know what happened, just get on with it.
Give it away, give it away.
Next time, you'll be having a yellow card. There they are. There's a couple of bells coming in there. Don't want to be starting a fight when you're on the border. I remember Mike Orr starting a fight when he was on the border.
Pick it up, pick it up!
A couple of clouts.
I will deal, boys, with foul play in this game. Now get on with the game, I will deal with that. Yeah, I certainly will.
I think Gethin Jenkins
Same with you.
may well have to get some attention for that.
Yeah, that'll have to be stopped.
Let's keep it up, that's good. Back row on your own side. Hands away, stay out. Back.
No way through for Ryan Jones that time, but possession safely back in the Ospreys' grasp. Matthew Jones, the gap opened up for him. They all just stood off him. Good tackle on Andy Lloyd, but the pressure fails because the ball is turned over and Nick McLeod takes them back over halfway. That'll be a disappointment to the Ospreys because they've done well before then.
Yeah, use the break. Just an inside ball, really, and that was simple. McLeod just overread the play and went inside. He just went straight through the gap. But the discipline has been very good by the Cardiff Blues. You know, when the Ospreys get into a good field position, you don't want to give penalties away and an easy 3 points. It is going to be very difficult to score tries today with the ground so wet. You know, not great footing. It's going to be difficult to score tries. So discipline is crucial.
Yeah, the blood was still seeping from Gethin Jenkins' head, so Jane James, the physio, will have to Just tidy it up and possibly bandage it up as well. Bit of Vaz might do. Seconds away, round 2.
Time on. Big gap, please. Stay inside the 50, this over. Stay. Keep it up, going forward, keep up.
Williams smuggling that one back and still wanting to get his players going forward. Spice giving Shane Williams a hint of a run, but it drifts way over into midfield, and eons of time for Rhys Williams.
That's so difficult, you know, it's going to be to play against the wind, but not going by Ryan Jones.
And he got himself into all kinds of bother then. Went down on his knees to try and make it easier for himself, but realised he was too far away. It is. Good control by the Blues back row in particular.
Yeah, young Malpas did well there.
Richie Pugh foraging, but McLeod has got the support he wanted. And Ryan Powell's knee is okay.
Roll away, Blacks. Hands out now, rock form. Back.
And I think we'll see a lot of scrum half work this afternoon as well. That's going to be an interesting battle between Ryan Powell and Jason Spice. It's going to be close quarter control and then looking for the angles and the mistakes from the opposition.
And that's the difference. Look at the length that Thurston has got on that kick.
Early ball for Craig Morgan. He's not the most confident of players at the moment. There's a little undercurrent there.
Chance for Shane Williams.
Good tackle.
Yeah, good tackle, Tristan Davis. As I said, it's going to be very difficult to keep your foot in.
Matthew Jones just angles it across. A sensible play by Craig Morgan. He half-turned and allowed the ball to hit him so that he wouldn't knock on.
It's a game of chess at the moment, isn't it? Just trying to get good field position.
That's a great kick from Jason Spice. Rhys Williams caught in two minds. Again, possibly the wrong option of the two.
There's the kick. Let's have a look at it. Really very difficult what to do there. You know, if you take it and lose your foot in, you slip into touch, and it's a Ospreys throw. So
2 6s,
it's
no
just
more nonsense.
very, very difficult. And like I said, it's just a question of keeping your discipline, getting good field position, and see what happens. Put the pressure on the opposition and try and make them make mistakes in their own quarter.
Robert Sidoli is in good line-out form. He took a few off Luke Charteris last week, and maybe it was a good decision by Rhys Williams to get the throw in because the ball came back. Well, Elvis Severali thought he did okay then by turning back towards his own goal line. He went back initially, but then went forward.
You were facing backward, but the ball came forward. Yeah, no bad. Hang on, guys, hang on.
Yeah, did everything right there, Elvis Savali. Turned his shoulder, turned the ball. But what Nigel Owen said was the ball did go forward.
Back rows on your second rows, please. Hold. Engage. Time on.
So no score in the opening 10 minutes. And it's not going to be a free-flowing, high-scoring spectacle. It's going to be hard graft out there this afternoon.
Middle, please. Engage.
And as Stuart said earlier, Nigel Owens bringing the scrum in from the wettest part of the field. Malpas well marshalled that time.
Yeah, good tackle by Richie Pugh there. Quick off the base of the scrum.
And again the Ospreys right up on Sidoli, preventing him from getting over the gain line, getting into his stride. McLeod, change of tactic, kick against the grain towards Severali again.
Yes, I thought so. As the kick went up, Craig Morgan was in front.
So and go from Sebeali. Adam Jones in support.
Turn over, turn over.
Could be some numbers on the left, but the Blues have turned it over.
There's numbers on the left here, yeah, you're right. Got to spread it.
Craig Morgan looks to keep it alive. Durston wants it to go dead, and it won't. The full back to take it over.
Lovely kick.
Feet over the touchline before the body went over the try line.
I thought there was an opportunity there. 2-on-1, there's a prop on the outside there, but the kick is perfect. Durston has got to commit. That is not going anywhere. Craig Morgan was chasing. Now, first opportunity. It's not going to be a high-scoring game, this. Doesn't take a genius to work that out. So, any opportunities you do get, you've got to try and take them. And I think this is the first. I've been very impressed with Cardiff Blues so far, with their, recycling and keeping their possession. Very confident, as I said. They're playing against, trying to play the clock down. It's very good possession against the conditions. Territorial, that won't really matter them with the conditions. You expect the Ospreys to play in the Cardiff half. In the second half, that will be reversed. And I suppose possession, well, the Ospreys will try and keep the ball in hand. The conditions will determine how this game is played.
And it's going to be difficult to stay on your feet and prevent a driving line out from this kind of position. Daniel Jones at the front, Sidoli in the middle. Sidoli takes, try and bring him down and succeed in doing so. It's good defence from the Ospreys. Ben Evans in there. Powell has a dart himself. Almost made it.
No ball form, thank you. No ball
early
form.
blow from Nigel Owens.
No,
sensible in these conditions.
Now it's time to see the discipline and defensive organisation of the Ospreys.
Cobain putting a good tackle on Ryan Powell there, because the scrum half could spot half a gap there. And while there's some attention for the Blues players, we'll go down pitch side to Stuart Davis.
Yeah, thanks, Gareth. Been very impressed with the Blues start of this game. Jonathan's got it right again. The Ospreys have got quite a significant win behind them. You can feel it down here at pitch side. I think the Blues have been very selective with their kicking game. They've got to get that balance right. They've got to carry, kill the clock, and so far everything going according to plan for them, I think.
Stuart used to love these conditions, and he was a great leveller, wasn't he?
Yeah, you and me used to be the same speed in these conditions, Jeff.
Exactly. Yeah. As if you were hovercraft, he used to be a cruise ship, didn't he? Like, that's what it was like.
A turn and circle of a QE2 in as well.
That's just a slip. I know it's slip, just a genuine slip. No problem there. Sit. Engage.
No blind side to use, so pick up to the open side for James Malpas. And again the ball slow in coming back.
Just forward, no ball form, blue ball again.
But it's time consuming.
Same again.
And it's time the Ospreys want to get points on the board in this first half.
Up, please.
Oh, the wind is really blowing up a storm now.
Stay down, back row, stay down.
Good control from the Blues pack. Cobain dives in there, and that is dangerous.
It's good effort there by the Ospreys.
Very well defended in the end, because the control was excellent initially from the Blues.
Well, you
the
can
Ospreys
see
have got to put in.
the conditions are terrible, especially in that corner. Look at that flag.
Hold, please, hold.
Well, you can see which way the wind is going anyway.
Blues turn to get the wheel on. Ryan Jones has to try and use it from there.
Away, Blues.
And succeeds with help from Andy Lloyd. A little dink from Spice, and the wind will do the rest. Rhys Williams.
Tackles away. Back.
Ryan Powell gets it out to Nick McLeod. Durston, nice little flick up to Matthew Jones. Good support from the outside half.
It's very well cleaned up. Very well cleaned up by the Ospreys.
There's another big game to come. Scarlets against the Dragons, live on S4C, 5:30 kickoff, and highlights of all the weekend's games 5 o'clock tomorrow on BBC Two. And of course, as usual, all your correspondence on various matters as we go into the new year. Well appreciated.
Get on to the getting, please. Back, come back.
Spice. But again, it's drifted long on the wind. Well taken by Johnny Horton.
Very well taken. Followed it. Sorry if we are repeating ourselves, but you know, it's not, as I said, it's not going to be a very attractive one. It's not going to be a classic open encounter.
I was watching, I didn't see no
Very, very
taking outside.
intriguing, and little mistakes, you know, will have a big outcome in this match. Got to be precise. The kicking's got to be precise. But the Ospreys now got to be thinking, you know, nearly 20 minutes gone. They need to get the forwards into this game a little bit more, win a little bit of ball, and again, poor throw by Barry Williams.
Thank you, Jonathan. Excellent bit of filling in work while I was chasing my team notes, which were being blown all over the place here. So they had one foray down into the Blues 22 early on, came away empty-handed. What can the Ospreys do this time? Paul James just about manages to salvage the ball at the tail of the line.
Yeah, he hasn't found his jumpers yet, has he? And another turnover.
Richie Pugh spilt that one as the hit came in. And that's a very effective kick by Nick McLeod into the wind. That is an excellent kick.
There we are, look at that. 3 balls, 3 times they've been turned over. Only once by the Blue, and they have a lot of possession. Again, handling is only 1 by the Blue. That is fantastic. Hope he sorts his brolly out.
Still.
Yeah, things not going the Ospreys' way at the moment, and a rare sortie into the Blues half there, and 2 balls thrown to the back. I thought they'd have gone for banker ball and gone for the big drive and hoped for a penalty at best, but now they're back on the halfway and they need to sort this line out.
Hoping for a penalty because there hasn't been one yet in the opening quarter of the game, and that's good discipline by both teams.
That's very, very good discipline. In these conditions, that is magnificent, you know.
Nice burst from Rhys Williams.
They're playing the conditions extremely well, the Blues.
McLeod, Shanklin.
There's the first penalty.
It's an offside against Richie Pugh, but advantage being played at the moment. Not anymore.
Number 7.
That is the first penalty, exactly
Captain
midway
called
through the
for
first
penalty.
half.
Number 7 offside.
Yeah, just keep your eye. Number 7 with the scrum calf doesn't retreat, clearly offside. And although Matthew Jones goes up quicker than him, he just was out of the blocks quicker. And the Ospreys will play a blitz defence, and it will be difficult to get on the outside of them. But a very good kick once again by the Blues. They're playing the conditions extremely well. David Young and Webster and Geraint John will be very happy.
Lee Thomas may have got a bigger boot than Nick McLeod, but it is very effective kicking from the Blues outside half.
The forwards really have been extremely effective. I mean, you can see the amount of times that Gavin Henson has been inside centre, has had the ball in his hands. I don't think he has yet.
Stay on side, stay.
Matthew Jones again trying to get the Ospreys downfield.
I think we just need to do a little bit more now. The conditions, as I said, will dictate, but they are kicking the ball a little bit too much, I feel. You know, I think they're trying to get into position, into the 22, so they're relying a little bit too much on the wind and the rain. So they've got to try and kick, to get the ball in hand, go through a couple of phases and try and put Cardiff defence under pressure, to try and get a couple of penalty or something.
Rhys Thomas is the Cardiff Blues hooker. Timed by Robert Sidoli. Gethin Jenkins is the one in possession, and they're still moving forward. As long as they move, they can keep on going. Once they stop, then the referee will tell them to use the ball.
Hands away now, Blacks. Tackles away. Away, stay back.
No scrum half at the moment because Ryan Powell is at the bottom of the pile. Martin Williams does a good job though standing in. Support from Rhys Thomas. And that's the Ospreys 10-metre line they've reached. Malpas. McLeod had to take the ball behind him though, and that took the momentum out of it and allowed the Ospreys midfield defence to smother, but it's worked back again for Shanklin.
Good tackle, Lloyd, had to be made there.
Powell offering the inside track and Andy Lloyd putting in another hit on the scrum half.
2 big tackles. Shanklin is still down.
And McLeod in the end decides to go for the kick again. He's pinning them back, and there's Gavin Henson getting a touch. Not as he'd like, but that's the longest kick of the day, certainly. Too long, far too long.
And that's it, and that is because he hasn't had a kick, he hasn't judged the wind. So the first kick, he's given it the welly up, the full welly there, and that's gone 70, 80 yards. Watch the lovely break. As the blitz defence again, the 2 players nearest the ruck weren't alert, weren't aware. The 2 pillars, as I explained earlier on in the season, and that's where it is. And I think that's what you've got to do. If the blitz defence is working, you've got to chip away and throw. Look for the gaps near the ruck.
Scrum turn nicely for Malpas. A lot of work by the Cardiff pack, and James Malpas has been involved several times. He's impressed over the last few weeks, and he's forced Court Schubert, the American captain, to number 6. Martin Williams, as always, on the elbow of the ball carrier. Powell. Advantage being played at the moment for an offside, but the Blues have got their tails up. Sidoli to within 10 metres, but as possession is lost, the advantage remains for the early offside.
And winger, offside.
And that's good work. It's not spectacular, but it's very, very good work by the Blues pack.
You and you.
Martin Williams again, showing how good he is. What are you going to try and do on the blitz defence? There's the break. Martin Williams is there, brilliant. That's what you got to do. Just a bit of continuity, keep the momentum going.
Well, despite the conditions, it's the Blues who have the first shot at goal. And no surprise at all that Nick McLeod needs a bit of help in keeping that ball upright, because he's blowing into the teeth of a gale. It's Rhys Thomas who's doing the holding. McLeod nicely struck, and the Blues deserve that lead. They're playing against the elements, they're playing with control, and they lead by 3 points to 0.
Well, that is a real shock, you know, for the Ospreys, because they would have expected to, you know, control this first half with the conditions. Very, very good kick.
The skies have lightened up a bit now. The rain has abated for the time being. It's just the wind they have to contend with, and of course the residue from the rain, those slippery conditions. And the ball shoots out, and it's an opportunist try. Was it for Richie Pugh? Yes, indeed it was. And that's one for the conditions. The Blues won the ball back, but it spilled out from Nick McLeod. Richie Pugh was alert, and the Ospreys have snuck in front.
Well, that was a disaster right from the kick-off. Here's the kick-off, look. He just passes bad ball on, goes over McLeod's head, tries to get in goal, tackles made, comes off McLeod. Pugh is not offside. Comes off McLeod, there he is, comes off him, he's not offside. There wasn't a ruck formed. Try. And that's what Cardiff didn't want. How many times have we seen that from the kick-off? They switch off.
simplest of conversions for Henson, and the rain is back as soon as it stopped. It is hammering down now, and it's a hammer blow to the Blues as well. Oh, this is incredible. It's monsoon conditions. I think it's all wrong with that. Matthew Jones came back behind the man, back behind the ball, after it was trapped by Saviali.
Keep back, Cardiff, keep back!
Very well judged kick by Craig Morgan.
Very difficult to latch onto those. Ball swirling, wet, horrible. McLeod again spots the gap, but it's not wide enough, and it's a metre too long.
This has got to go long.
Take it anyway, okay?
The crowd who were celebrating
Get him back, get him back.
the effective play and the lead that the Blues have got is silenced with that riposte from Richie Pugh. Oh, that's a tough ball.
Well, from having a mistake-free or nearly a mistake-free 25 minutes, all of a sudden Cardiff have pressed the self-destruct button, haven't they? You know, well,
Nick McLeod can feel a bit hard done by, I think, on that one.
yeah, referee's called, but he's been consistent, hasn't he?
Back row down. Stay scrum half. Ball gone.
Good work by Andy Lloyd in support of Ryan Jones. Malpas has got his hands in it as well, though.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, good.
Prevented quick release. Good angle from Henson, but there's plenty of cover there.
Hands away now. Ruck form.
Not too much width to the Ospreys attacking line. Lovely step from Burston, though. That famous left foot plant of his.
Back.
Spotted it forward in there, didn't he?
Matthew Jones, a chase for Sonny Parker, effective kick again, and Rhys Williams only just got there.
Made a connection, just. I think he knows as well, Roy Smile. Lovely kick again. Oh, just got there, didn't he? What do you think, Nigel? This is a try. Look, you know, Johnny Vorton
He just scored.
just got to take it, hasn't it? Then
Yeah.
the ball goes back over his head. He's got to minor it. Tries to get out. There's no ruck formed really.
No.
He's not in offside position. Ball comes off McLeod. That is a try. He was on his feet as well.
It's good thinking. Right place, right time for Richie Pugh. And we can go down pitch side to Stewart again.
Yeah, thanks, Gareth. I'm alongside Derwyn Jones. Yeah, Derwyn hasn't been the most convincing of ours, but a little bonus there for you straight after that penalty from the Blues.
Well, I don't know about convincing. You know, the elements are obviously playing a big part at the moment, and you know, Cardiff are defending or driving line up very well, but we're in a good position now to maybe get another attacking platform. But very pleased with the try. Obviously came at a good time.
Is an argument we should have seen more of this, perhaps? This is the sort of work you want from your 8 in this weather, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose so. But we haven't really had the platform. We have the opportunity to build our line-out game, you know, and to build our driving game. But hopefully now we can continue in the vein that we are at the moment.
Thanks, Derwyn.
Cheers.
Still good control of the ball by the Ospreys. Now they've gone to the floor. They'll have to get rid of it from there. Good defence by the Blues, because it was an excellent driving line out initially by the Ospreys.
But again,
Again, good tackling.
Yes, good defence. But good patience as well by the Ospreys. Keeping the ball going forward, keeping that momentum.
Spice. Henson comes back to try and get back to his forwards. Craig Morgan put the tackle in, squirts into the hands of Adrian Durston.
Good aggressive defence, forcing them back. But they've got to keep their shape, they're short.
Matthew Jones looking to free Sonny Parker. Parker had come in to try and make it easier. Matthew Jones thought he was still lurking out on the wing. Excellent defence by the Blues.
Keeps probing, doesn't he, Matthew Jones, looking for that opening. possession again. You know, it will favour the team playing against the elements. And that's very good for them as well. You know, they've got good territory as well. You know, just with Deryn Jones is right. You know, the liner isn't going well. But I thought, you know, I think he'd like to have seen a little bit more from his forwards because they are being outplayed by the Cardiff 8, and especially Sidoli's having a very, very good game.
That was an excellent take because the ball was way away from him.
Yeah, Rhys Thomas and Sidoli are doing a lot better than Barry Williams and the Ospreys jumpers at the moment.
It's all very, very even out there in terms of possession, in terms of territory, in terms of number of times they've been in the 22. It's just one score each as well. The Ospreys have got a converted try, the Blues penalty. Spent the line out that time. Barry Williams looking to get them all going now. It's out to Spice. But again, the defence is very well marshalled.
If you're not sure, go for a jumper, secure ball. This is what they want to do now, is carry ball, get the ball carried as the forwards. Another turnover.
Ball is there!
Cleaning out
Let the ball come, please,
by Paul James on Adam Jones wasn't effective enough. The Blues were still in there.
There's an opportunity there.
Rhys Williams was outside Craig Morgan. Could have been dangerous, but it could have been productive as well.
I thought there was a chance there. Craig Morgan, look, as he gets the ball will come left here. Look at Rhys Williams circling him. He goes up, look at that. There's a forward there on the outside. You just got to give it to him. Give it to the hands and support on the inside. That was an opportunity for the Blues. Maybe that is Craig Morgan playing with not a lot of confidence at the moment.
Opportunities are going to be few and far between this afternoon.
Roll away now, Blues, roll away! Good. Good listening, good.
Good ball carrying by Ryan Jones. Jonathan Thomas offering himself on the tackle. The ball hacked on again. Shane Williams is back there, the only one. The race now is on. Tristan Davis, well picked up by Shane Williams. Great tackle though, he's under pressure.
Again, if turnover,
the Blues.
He's got to be on. That is a yellow card. He's got to go. Yellow card. Thank you very much.
Lazy defending. Didn't want to get behind the back feet.
Clear, keep possession. Terminus, please. Go attempt.
And again, good use of the loose ball by the Blues.
Tries to do it, you know, quickly. Backs his pace. Great tackle. Shanklin is there. Steals the ball. Great play by Shanklin. Oh, if he'd have held that ball, there was an overlap on the right, but Jones was offside. Now he can have 10 minutes to think of his New Year's resolution.
Well, he saved the try.
You got 5 playing time and about 3 injury.
It was a cynical misuse of the offside by Matthew Jones, which has been punished to the tune of 3 points by Nick McLeod, and the Blues back within a point.
The second penalty, the Cardiff Blues score number 10, Nick McLeod. Score is now Cardiff.
Let's see what they do with this kick-off.
Ospreys 7.
I'm sure that Martin Williams will be telling them to concentrate on this one, but they won't even have to bother.
Well, that is just poor concentration by Gavin Henson. You know, we know what a talented kicker he is, but Lynn Jones is thinking, what did he do there? Look at that, he just lashes out, it comes off the side of his foot. You can see by his reaction, he wanted to drill that into the forward, sliced it a little bit, gone dead. Just a little bit of frustration from Gavin. I'm sure that in the second half we will see a lot of kicking out the hand from Gavin, because he has got a massive kick and they'll have to use him against the wind.
Stay.
Richie Pugh at fly half with Matthew Jones in the bin. Defending from that scrum. Thurston driven out by Tristan Davis. And Tristan Davis's following up has been pretty effective as well, as has Tom Shanklin's.
Very good kick again. Wheat was very precise. Thurston again had to play at it. And has given the Blues the bonus of having the throw-in
to the line out, just outside the Ospreys 22. Again, Sidoli safely takes. Tristan Davis, ball in hand this time, rather than just chasing. Sidoli again in action. Henson with a tackle.
Hands out. Hands are on.
Gethin Jenkins setting it up once more.
Ball out.
Ben Evans in there as well. They're calling for more defenders on the far side of the Ospreys.
Let the ball come now, please. Let the ball come. Get on with it, please.
Rhys Williams at outside half. Those defenders have arrived in numbers.
They don't want to lose the ball here.
Brian Powell. Craig Morgan. Then just angled for the corner. It's caught Schubert, who's out there. Gersten gets away from Schubert, but not from Morgan. Followed up his own kick as well. And they're rather slow in arriving, the Ospreys, initially. For a moment, it looked as though the Blues are going to steal it. Shane Williams' kick into the hands of Tom Shanklin. Powell to the blind side to Nick McLeod. McLeod tries to step inside Spice. Barry Williams completes the tackle. Quick ball, and this is danger. Rhys Williams. Schubert knocks it on though.
Yeah, all offside. They're all offside. Got to take the points here. Got to take the points.
It's not good you're standing against.
This is the opportunity. It's a shame that Sidoli's the second row that was with him, you know. He's had a great game, just lacked a little bit of pace there. Whereas there's a quick ball, they were all offside. Andy Lloyd was offside, interfering with Clay. Look at that wind. And to go in at half-time in the lead would be a huge psychological factor for the second half. You know, there'll be a lot happier camp, the Cardiff Blues. Looking forward to coming out in the second half. You'll really need a motivational chat for the Ospreys now to come out and face these elements in the second half.
Final minute of normal time in the first half. Nick McLeod restores the Blues lead, and that is a big bonus indeed with the conditions as they are, a 9-7 ahead.
They're all, you know, they look relatively easy kicks, but they are very difficult kicks because the wind is blowing. You've got somebody holding the ball for you. Your standing foot, you know, is slipping when you're going to strike the ball. And he'll have a serious bit of talking to do in the change rooms at half time, I think. Not what he expected playing with the conditions.
Well, there's 2 or 3 minutes of stoppage time to be added. And the Ospreys sneak their noses back in front. Schubert is the one who sets it up. Sidoli again showing he is a very willing workhorse this afternoon. McLeod gets out of trouble initially, but runs into some more. James Malpas wasn't behind the back feet as Richie Pugh drove on. So it is a chance for the Ospreys after all.
No, good God, no, not as obvious as the other one.
Posts please, says Barry Williams.
Ruck was formed, driving over, 8 from the side.
There's the tackle. He tries to place the ball. Good drive by Brett Cobain. Yeah, from the side, the ball was out, but he wasn't behind the back foot.
James Malpas just asking for an explanation, which is exactly what Jonathan Davis gave us there. Henson didn't need a ball holder, and that is a good kick. And the Ospreys back ahead, 10 points to 9 in this ding-dong battle.
You're a little bit happier, Lynn. There's good pressure from underneath Osprey forwards on McLeod. He's just had to try and get a kick the way he didn't. The result was 3 points.
Andy Lloyd. Barry Williams. Spice's kick is charged down though. Henson's is as well. Martin Williams, first man there, brilliant, absolutely brilliant work by Martin Williams.
Offside out wide, and that's what you got to do.
It's still on. Johnny Horton looks outside. Rhys Williams is there, so is Shanklin. The cover's got across though. Now they want to come back in the opposite direction. Can the Blues finish with a flourish? Powell, back inside ball. Forwards taking on Gethin Jenkins, first man there. Now a chance, kick of the backs maybe. Schubert though, back towards the pack again.
They're still short on the left-hand side. Kick to the corner is on.
Craig Morgan pass. Oh, catches the window and it drifts back behind Martin Williams. The kick may have been more effective rather than the long pass which was caught in the wind, and the Ospreys have turned it over and they've kept their line intact. Henson, as the wind and the rain come driving down behind him again. That's a good kick though from Henson. Just when he is it too long again even?
Oh yes.
Oh, that's incredible. That is incredible. He only touched it and he can't believe it, and you can't blame him for that one. The wind and the rain picked up just at the wrong moment. 80 metres downfield.
There's the first charge out. There's the second charge out. Great play, Martin Williams. Look at that. Roll up in one motion. Superb play. They had the opportunity. This is what you got to do. It's the long pass to beat the blitz defence. Get on the outside centre. Wasn't crisp enough. Last chance for the Cardiff Blues now.
Next time the ball goes dead, should bring an end to proceedings.
Okay.
Ospreys, of course, still one man short.
I feel
And
it's
that man
a bit
is
extra
Matthew
effort,
Jones,
please,
which is
okay,
why
the
Richie Pugh is standing in the number 10 position rather than putting his weight in on the flank. There he is, just behind the scrum.
Hold there, okay. Hang on. I can steady script. Put your feet now, okay? Don't go too back, you slip down.
Blues looking to get a good purchase.
Stay there.
Schubert with a pickup,
Hands
Spice
up,
with a tackle.
drop form.
Powell, McLeod.
Too quick there out of the blocks.
Very quick.
They're not offside. Just very quick out of the blocks.
Hands away now.
Hard work again for the forwards.
Step.
It's nothing fancy going to be from here.
No.
In the end, a disappointing kick from Ryan Powell brings the end to an interesting first half. Very hard fought indeed, and the Ospreys just edging it.
Well, Cardiff will be the happier camp. They've worked extremely hard. The forwards have been immense. They've kept the ball away from the Ospreys, had good field position, but the hard work has been done, but they can't rely on the conditions to win this game. It's the opportunities there, and if anything, second half Cardiff Blues now will start as favourites, but they just have got to come out, get good field position, get some points. Big job for the Ospreys, but who knows what will happen.
Very little to choose between them. Get the kettle on. They need something warm at half-time. It's Blues 9, Ospreys 10.
Everything has been affected by the rain. The players came out into a monsoon. It certainly warmed them up though. Gethin Jenkins and Sonny Parker, old teammates up at Pontypridd, involved in a bit of a scuffle. And then the Blues in trouble just after taking the lead themselves. Chaos on their own line. Richie Pugh pounces. The Ospreys in front against the run of play. And then Matthew Jones offside, yellow carded. And the Blues retake the lead. Nick McLeod judging the win to perfection. But on the stroke of half-time, Gavin Henson steps up, and it is the Ospreys have a 1-point lead at the interval.
Yeah, so look at the stats, and very surprisingly, the Blues there, 57% possession and 52% territory, playing against those awful conditions, and they've been into the opposition 22 7 times, and they can count themselves very unfortunate they're not going in with a lead there. But another big stat for the Ospreys they won't be happy with is 6-1 turnovers, and that's where they've fallen down in this first half. They've given far too much ball to the Blues and given them the opportunity really to play almost a perfect game into the weather in the first half. Apart from one, drop of concentration, they've played very, very well.
Okay, the Blues will be happy, or will they? Here's their New man on their coaching team, Richard Webster with Stuart.
Yeah, thanks, Eddie. Welcome back onto the scene, Webb. You've been away for a little while, but your arrival at the Blues seems to have coincided with an upturn in their fortunes, especially up front, a bit of steel.
I don't think it's got a lot to do with me at the moment too. I've been a bit modest out there, but yeah, we put a lot of blood and guts into that half, and it was unfortunate to be coming around a point down, because I think it's just a comedy of errors with the girls in the back that messed us up a bit.
Yeah, it's the golden rule, isn't it? You've done well to get the score, concentration then on the kick-off, but it didn't happen.
No, you've got to get the kick-off and get it down there. There's no harm in kicking it. Well, it's a big win, but there's no harm in kicking it into touch.
Mostly positives though, Webby. That's a big half against a very big win, isn't it?
Yeah, the win does look strong out there, and it was brilliant. We worked hard. Everybody was working for each other, and which is what we're trying to fetch back into the club, to show people that we're not a bag of rubbish.
Yeah, Nick McLeod at outside half. He had a very good game against the Dragons. Seemed to strike a good balance today with distribution and a kicking game as well.
That's the backs do it. I don't know nothing at all about that.
You don't do backs. I'll have to go and get Geraint John.
I don't do backs.
Thanks for talking to us, Webby.
Yeah.
Well, he bringing his own style to the Arms Park, but
Nice to see him back.
the forwards for 25 minutes played an ideal game for their new coach.
They did. They picked up and drove, and they really got stuck into the Ospreys, and they put the little kicks and the things, and they chased really hard. And they get themselves in a position where they're 3 points up, and they're playing well, and then one lack of concentration, really, really stupid by Johnny Vaughton on the wing. All he had to do was put it to touch, run it in touch, run it back, and just start again.
Here's the restart. They go long.
Yeah, I think we can see now. All he's got to do here, look, we know the conditions are bad. It's been knocked back. Here, just this point here, just run up the tramline, set it up, or bang it. Don't throw big speculative passes infield. Puts McLeod under all sorts of pressure. And, the tackle, good chase, and Pugh's there to score the opportunist try. But, you've just, I suppose he's done this once, he won't do it again.
You had your doubts, didn't you, about the offside or...
Well, I thought possibly it may have come off an Osprey's leg here on the tackle, but it is a comedy of errors, as Richard Webster said there. But I think Johnny Vaughton, all he's got to do is run it back up the tram line, bang it into touch, reset the line out, and keep the concentration going, because the Ospreys were not really playing that well up to that point. They hadn't really been in the game.
No offside in open play, so if
yes,
it
as
didn't
you
come...
explained to me.
Well,
As
I
you
was
explained
just
to me. Thank you,
wondering if it was, because, did a player other than the tackler arrive to make it a ruck, and therefore an offside
to be fair,
line?
the Blues, they had a couple of opportunities as well where they possibly could have scored tries, and that was when the yellow card came in. And I've got to be honest, I think it's pretty obvious what happens here.
First of all, the turnover, way back.
Yeah, it's Martin Williams, who's had an outstanding first half of the Blues. He's been everywhere, and I think there, Shane Williams, he's got to slide down on that ball, and again he goes for the quick pickup, gets away with it, great tackling. Tom Shanklin, this is on his feet, ripping, turns the ball over. Now from this moment onwards, it's try time. The Ospreys are in disarray, and to me, Ed, he does a professional thing there. He just takes the 10 minutes rather than take the 7 points, and I'm sure his teammates don't blame him for that at all.
Not that you're condoning such things, Mike, you're just saying it's a reality.
Well, it's a reality, and I think that, okay, he's taking his medicine there, 10 minutes, but rather that, they give 7 points away.
Yeah.
And I know an awful lot of players who do exactly the same thing.
Righto. Okay. Craig Morgan early on, a player without much confidence at the moment.
Well, we're saying that, but I think, again, he's played well in this first half. If I have a criticism of Craig Morgan, is he always looks for the quick chip. When I think he's a fantastic player when he keeps the ball in hand. This time, it's an excellent kick right into the corner. And what he's done is when he's kicked, he's chased hard. So he's put the Ospreys under pressure. And we can see there's nowhere for Durston to go. He's just got to take it into touch. And, from that position, we could see that if we just had one concerted drive from the forwards, I think they would have scored. And then it just went out in the midfield and it fell down again.
Martin Williams going forward has been exceptional, hasn't he? Going down, getting up, there's great skills.
I think he's just a fantastic player. And I think that, he doesn't get the credit he deserves because he's been playing in a poor regional team. If he was playing for anybody else, I think he'd be out and out the sort of, the number 7 for Wales, and he'd be almost on that British Lions tour as well. I think he's that good.
But you have been looking at the Ospreys back row as well.
Yeah, I think as well they got some good players, and I think this is what Lynn Jones will be looking for more of them in the second half. You can see Ryan Jones here. This is what you want from you great in these conditions. Pick up from the back of the scrum, straight through Schubert's tackle. Look, he's over the gain line. He's into the heart of the Blues, and then they don't control it very well, but it's quick ball, and I think that's what they'll be looking for. And again, the back row working in tandem. You've got Jonathan Thomas up first, but Richie Pugh has been everywhere, putting McLeod under pressure. And I think that's when they were starting to sort of look the part in that second half, the Ospreys, a little bit.
Okay, one person we sort of we've been accustomed to seeing dominate games has been Gavin Henson. He hasn't had much ball, and what he's had, he's shunted out of play.
Possibly a little bit of inexperience, I think. And as John mentioned in commentary, he hadn't had that much ball in his hand. He's used to playing 10, he's used to judging the conditions early. And to be fair, I mean, if he really caught them, you think it'd end up in Queen Street the way he's kicking it. But
that's a bit unlucky, isn't it? He's 5 metres from his own line,
yeah,
and it goes sailing over the far end.
And I think I'd be very tempted in the second half if I was Lynn Jones to switch those two when you're attacking, when you're in defending rather, because he's got the boot. Let him have the chance to kick the ball, because you know he's going to get more distance rather than Matthew Jones.
Brevin Williams, MBE, at the age of 81, one of the Cardiff greats, one of the Welsh greats.
Prince of Centres, I think he was called it, wasn't he? I'm far too young to remember him playing, I'm sure you do.
Not quite. Starman. Okay, S4C game, 5:10. The other two Welsh regions in action, so that'll be interesting, but it's pretty interesting here as well. I mean, if you were the Blues and you've had a rough old season, you've lost 6 on the trot, you would be delighted with that first half.
This is their chance to turn their season around. You know, they've got 40 minutes, playing with a win, they're playing well, they've just got to keep their heads here, and this game is there for them.
Okay, what do the Ospreys make of it all? Sean Holly, their assistant coach, is with Stuart.
Yeah, thanks very much, Eddie. Sean, conditions terrible. Huge win behind you that first half. It almost seemed a disadvantage at times.
Yeah, just talking to the boys in there now, Stu, it's very difficult for them to deal with, you know. Obviously we kicked it long, straight out, and they just found it very hard to get the sort of mid-range, but you know, likewise this half now kicking into it is going to be very, very difficult, so, and it's coming and going as well, you know, so very difficult.
Yeah, swirling at times. We're wondering if your big guns up front are going to start firing, perhaps a carry in half from some of your boys.
Yeah, you know, Paul James and Adam had a week off last week, and you know, I think it's taken them a while to get into the game. I think Andy Lloyd's doing really well for us, and he's doing a lot of defensive work as well as carrying. So we'll be looking to them now this half to maybe pick and go a little bit, get into the forwards on the fringes of the rucks, and maybe free up for something like Gavin or Sonny to get in and close to the line.
Thanks, Sean.
Pleasure.
There we have it. What the Ospreys might do. If you're with the Blues now, you've survived the wind, now you have it at your back. What do you do?
I think you keep your concentration. You know, you put the ball in the right areas and you don't turn it over, because if they can put the Ospreys under pressure in the 25, they will score points. But you know, the wind doesn't win games for you, Ed. You know that. You've got to put the ball in the right areas and not make mistakes. The Ospreys, it might be easier for them now. They don't have to think so much about tactics. You know, it's going to be a lot of pick up and drive. You'll have Ryan Jones, Richie Pugh, Jonathan Thomas, Cobain. They're all up there in the stats for the pick up and drive and carrying, so that may favour them in the second half.
The difficulty with the kicking game is that it's just difficult to keep the ball on the park. It's just one bounce and it's just going to head off towards the dead ball area.
And there's a big onus now on the half-backs for the Blues to put the ball, you know, put the box kick-ups, put the little dinks in behind them, and then get the pressure on. And I think they can break their duck in the second half, the Blues.
OK, Cardiff have lost 6 on the bounce. Is this the game when their season turns around? Let's find out. Back to Jonathan and Gareth.
Thanks, Ed. Ospreys making their way back out, and they're back up to the full complement of 15. Matthew Jones has served his 10 minutes in the bin. No changes in the Ospreys lineup. None, I think, in the Cardiff one when they emerge as well. As usual, Jonathan, you're the one who's picking man of the match, and I think it could be a forward today.
I think it will be a forward today, unless someone scores a magnificent hat-trick. But you know, as Mike said, the wind won't win you the match. You've got to get in a good field position. Just see how 9 and 10 of the Blues control the game in the second half. Ospreys have got to carry the ball, you know, and they've got to really try and get a good field position. Take anything from it. If they don't carry, you know, if they don't carry Duncan Jones as a good ball carrier, he might come on. It's an intriguing game, not a classic, as I said, but a very, very intriguing game of rugby.
That's one of the most influential players in the first half, Martin Williams. Robert Sidoli as well, ball winning and ball carrying for the Blues. Now it's up to the forwards in black to try and match and outdo them, to see if they can get their name in the frame by the end of the match. At half-time, it's the Ospreys who lead at 10 points to 9. Just holding up a little bit in the wind, which has died down for a second, but it'll be gusting back any second now, I dare say.
Tacklers away!
Martin Williams as scrum half to Craig Morgan. Even Durston willing that one to follow the same vein that Gavin Henson's did in the first half, but he was a good deal shorter.
And I think this is where most of this game will be played, in this area. Looking for anything, any penalty.
Matthew Jones looking for distance, and they're not going to get too much. Ryan Powell just left it behind and picked up by Andy Lloyd. So an unexpected source of possession. Jonathan Thomas.
Tacklers away, tacklers away.
The tackler not getting away from the tackle area.
Nah, this is the effort of Bobo, roll about.
Daniel Jones.
No effort at all.
Being told in both Welsh and English by Nigel Owen what the offence was.
Daniel Jones makes number 4. Doesn't roll away, has the opportunities on the ground, has a bit of a stump, doesn't move.
Straight on the jaw for Andy Lloyd, and that's because he was being held down by his opposite number, Robert Sidoli.
Maybe the easiest decision that Nigel Owens has made this afternoon. Just grabbed one of his arms, gave him a tug.
And Andy Lloyd can see the funny side of it as well.
That's a great kick. That is a great kick. Fantastic kick that is. Into the wind.
I'm not sure who's in greater danger from that corner flag. Touch judge, cameraman, somebody could catch a clip the way it's flying about there. Bit of experience in the Blues ranks. Nathan Thomas, 9 caps for Wales. The tail end of the 90s, on for James Malpas, 22 today.
That's good, that's fine, that's fine.
Not the greatest line out, and again Martin Williams hacks through. Shane Williams in trouble. Good support though, getting the possession back for the Ospreys, and Adam Jones right in on his captain. Spice can't get the ball clear, and Sidoli pinches it for the Blues. Well kept in, Shane Williams. Ryan Jones takes, but knock on, say the crowd. Play on, says the referee. And it's not easy out there for anybody.
Well, that's what happens if you lose possession. You know, look where you end up with the conditions. Wasn't the greatest kick by Ryan Powell.
To be honest, they're great conditions to defend, because then you can just swarm through on your opponents.
He's crawling on the floor now, he's crawling on the floor.
It's hard to keep hold of the ball. Big hit that tends to spill through, hack it on, put pressure on them. It's that kind of game.
It's be interesting. No, I think he'll go for the touchline. There he is, crawling on the floor.
Really, it's a back row man's dream, this. Especially when you're not in possession.
Oh, I don't know. I don't think no one likes to play in these conditions.
Leave the lifters alone. Good.
Great take again by Sidoli. And a good drive by the Blues as well. They're still moving, they haven't stopped. Inching their way downfield.
Tacklers away.
He's not moving away there, is he? I don't know where he is, can't see the number. Discipline's got to be it.
Rhys Thomas caught by Ryan Jones.
Hands away now.
But it's still there for the Blues. Ryan Powell. Justin Davis was being asked far too much to try and pick that one up.
Okay, no advantage. It did go forward.
Was clearly knocked on by the Blues centre.
Yeah, when you're playing with the wind, the passes have got to be crisper, because, you know, if you float them, the wind is going to take him away from you, whereas if you're playing against the wind, you can float the pass and run onto it a little bit. Sometimes it's easier to play a passing game against the conditions, against the wind.
Back row down.
Well, the Ospreys have got Shane Williams at 10 for this one.
Hands away now, hands away now. Good, back.
It's up to the big boys to take it on a bit first. Cobain tries to do that.
Hands away, Blues. Stay out.
But it's come back on the blue side, and there could be an overlap there. Oh, big hit by Henson and Ryan Power.
Big hit.
And the Ospreys swarming all over the Blues now. Ryan Jones picks up the loose ball, and it's turned over 3 ways then. Blues, Ospreys, Blues again.
Well, that hit, I think, has sparked everyone, hasn't it?
And it is happening off the ball as well.
There's the hit. Fight,
Big huge fight now. Everybody, Sonny Parker involved initially, and that's what sparked it, I think.
Is that an illegal tackle? No use of the arms.
There we go, and this is the end result.
I think Henson's in there. Jonathan Thomas is in there. Sonny Parker's in there.
Gethin Jenkins in there.
Martin Williams
in there. Uncle Tom Cobley in there.
My first squad session for Wales will be interesting. I hope it's a full contact one. Not many injuries.
I tell you what, all the Ponty boys are getting pitched in there against each other. Gethin Jenkins, Sonny Parker again, Brent Cobain. And Nigel Owens needs all the help he can get from his officials.
Well, no one saw anything.
Hang on. Hang on.
Which is right, Martin Williams is saying Gavin Henson used his shoulder.
Listen,
that is...
There is a cause to it. I'm not aware of the cause of it. The touchers are not aware of the cause of it. Have a word with the players now, because any further foul play, we will deal with it. Have a word quickly, please. Have a word.
Well, you've got two options here. They told the forwards to go back, and the captains go back and talk to your players. One is saying, look boys, cool head, no keep it. Or the second one is, right boys, if it happens again, we're all in.
If it's give me a flag in, okay? I didn't see a flag out, so I wasn't aware what you were saying. There, boy. Big gap, please. Big gap.
It's one way of keeping warm out there anyway. Get stuck in the lot of you. Andy Lloyd did well to keep hold of that when he came flying down. And the Ospreys have to carry ball out of defensive positions into this gale that's blowing against them. Good recovery by Jonathan Thomas. And they run themselves the penalty as well.
Called ruck. Called a ruck.
Definitely called. He was on his feet, but the referee called the ruck.
Carry on now.
See this kick. I don't think he'll go for distance here. I'll just make it sure. Yep. Oh, it's not.
That's a huge kick from Craig Morgan, and it's gone with the wind away from Durston. Shane Williams back there. He had a side put it over, and that could hurt.
I don't think he tried that. I don't think he tried that, did he? He slid. You know, they're Welsh teammates. And that was an accident. I think Shanklin chased the kick, and then he slid and took it in. Looked nasty. He's got to put this dead. Shanklin slips. Look, he slides in. He tries to put his hands up. Could have been nasty. I hope he's okay. Let's hope he's okay.
That was purely accidental, because I think in the end, Tom Shanklin even tried to grab him by the shorts to hold him up.
He did. This is Henson's tackle. That was a massive hit. And there's the fight. No, I think if you just watch it. Ball's going. They're on the floor. I think it's Gavin Henson and Martin Williams on a little ding-dong there. Andy Lloyd is in there. They just keep on going again. Look at them, they're all running.
There we are. Compliments of the season and a Happy New Year.
And a ruck forward.
has certainly picked up a notch or two in the second half. That's a good kick by Ryan Powell. You could see Johnny Horton was waiting for it. There's a lovely kick for the scrum half.
And this is where the Blues want to be. Anything now, any penalty, you know, they go in front. But the Ospreys are dogging it out. You know, I think they're doing well on the possession stakes.
Big gap, please.
Get one opportunity to go top the other side of the field and get something.
Big defensive line on this one for the Ospreys. Good take by Andy Lloyd. Sidoli did everything to try and pinch it. A very safe jump. The kick is half charged down though, and Martin Williams has picked it up again. He's everywhere. Gethin Jenkins tries. Powell. Awkward ball, lovely flick up by McLeod to Sidoli, and Vorton in there as well. Good defence by Adam Jones.
Again, good defence by the Ospreys.
Hands out! Holding on!
Yeah.
Yes, leave the ball.
Fine defence by the Ospreys indeed.
Very, very good defence. Stayed onside, then blitzed them. Watch how quick they come up. From out to in. Good work by Sonny Parker. They go left again.
It certainly is an intense battle out there. Considering that discipline, by and large, has been pretty good.
Well, you've got to try and get more ball. The Ospreys, otherwise they're not going to win ball. They're going to be playing the game in this area.
That's the one that's gone against them. Only once have the Blues lost the ball, and they've taken it into a ruck. The Ospreys have lost it 9 times, and that has prevented them from building, really.
It's vitally important, no matter how many phases you go through, you've got to try and keep the ball, because one mistake, one boot to it, another one, and one, you know, because of the conditions, you're back in your own 22. And they're judging the kicks extremely well. Look at that, 9 times they've turned the ball over. I know conditions are dreadful, but the Blues ball control have been very good. And again, the Blues handling errors have increased in the second half. But with the wind and conditions behind them, they know any penalty within, say, 35 yards
I am very aware
could
of
be turned
it is,
into
and I'm very aware
points.
for an Ospreys ball we have a less of a problem in the scrum. So on their ball, I want the same discipline as in yours, please. Engage. Stay down, Sam. Leave him alone. Hands away now. Back.
Gets the Blues going forward again. Sidoli does exactly the same thing.
Play on.
It's a free ball, which Cobain was allowed to go for because it had come out.
Yeah, first knock on. They've got to be quicker. When they drive over, they've got to be quicker. Ryan Powell has got to go and get the ball and get it away. I know the big boys are coming on. Good drive again by Sidoli. Good clear out by Thomas. Doesn't knock it on, but he's got to be quicker there. They've got to clear out, place the ball and get it away.
Double change initiated by Lynn Jones. That is now Duncan Jones on the loose head of the scrum. And Andy Newman has taken over from Brent Cobain in the second row. There is Duncan Jones getting his first touch of the ball. And getting a couple of Cardiff players all over him as well.
I think there were hands involved in that, Rick.
Rhys Williams weighs up the options. There goes the ball on the wind again. Well taken by Shane Williams. Oh, superb, absolutely superb running from Shane Williams. Hasn't had much of an opportunity. Did it to devastating effect against the Scarlets on Boxing Day. And showed it exactly the same again. Bringing the Osprey supporters to life, and he wants it again.
Oh, the ball has gone too far. Play on, I'll watch.
Seveali on halfway.
Away, Blues, away!
Duncan Jones knew the hit was coming. Forces it back to Spice. Change of tactic that time from the scrum half on the kick. Yeah. Is that a little bit too strong?
And now they're just running out of patience. There was no need to kick then. The ball, the run was superb here by Shane Williams. Slips out of Rhys Williams' tackle and he's through. Good feet, gets on the outside of power, but a good tackle by Craig Morgan.
And he's still suffering slightly from being smacked into the advertising hoardings. But he shows how dangerous he can be.
How we looking? Yeah?
And if you lose possession and then don't get your kicks in,
right?
very fortunate to be 10-9 ahead, the Ospreys. But they are.
If it's marginal, okay, we'll speak to them. If it's clear, then give me a hand, okay? Right, give me a big gap. Hey, big gap.
Looks as though some more changes are due in Blues colours any minute.
Yeah, and that's the way I want it, okay? You just get on, keep quiet.
No points added in the second half so far.
That's why I wanted to go. Keep it up now, keep it up. That's fine.
Again, the Blues inching their way downfield.
Hands away,
Blues now on the floor.
Back.
McLeod. Great work by Richie Pugh.
Very good play by Richie Pugh.
Andy Lloyd is there, so is Duncan Jones. Had they had quick ball, there could have been something on. Durston tries to see if there's any space on the blind side, and again the kick ricochets off a forest of legs, so it will be an Osprey throw.
I think Andy Lloyd has taken the bump.
And it'll give the Blues the chance to make the substitution they want. Craig Quinnell hasn't played a game since Glasgow back in November.
Cardiff Blues replacing number 19, Craig Quinnell.
So Big Craig as his bulk in place of Daniel Jones.
Well, this is an opportunity for Craig Quinnell. I think Daniel Jones has played extremely well. It's been an impressive performance by the Cardiff front five.
Always hard-working, Daniel Jones. It's two big men facing each other, Andy Newman and Craig Quinnell. The aerial battle was won by Newman. He came down in a heap.
Get on it! Get on!
Arms flailing, and it's Andy Lloyd and Craig Quinnell getting stuck in. He's been on the field all of, what, 30 seconds?
Well, the punch was thrown by Andy Lloyd there, so it'll be interesting to see what happens. Yeah, I think Andy Lloyd's going to be penalised here. Flying arms, just pushes him away. Watch this, now there's a dig coming in here. With the right-hander. Penalty against Andy Lloyd.
Okay? I'm having a word with the both of you. The both of you come in and got involved with a scuffle. The first offence is by you, and that's where the penalty is going against you. You keep a discipline and back 10.
I think
penalty against.
The Ospreys felt that Craig Quinnell had pulled down Andy Newman at the line. Andy Lloyd took the law in his own hands, and that's the result.
After the penalty, okay?
That could be a crucial incident in this match, because now Cardiff will have good field position. Here's the line out. Newman goes up. Definitely an penalty there. Nigel Owens was on the other side. David Davis, the linesman, should have spotted it. Craig got away with that.
That's Andrew Millward, the latest replacement for Duncan Jones in the Osprey front row.
Take again,
was also on in midfield. Quinnell goes on a charging run, brought down by Richie Pugh. Support arrives from Sidoli. Name we mentioned very often in this game.
Too far at the back there, too deep, Schubert. Great hit.
Good hit by Andy Lloyd.
Great hit by Andy Lloyd.
That's the way to make your point, legally and effectively.
Very good hit by Andy Lloyd. Takes the ball in, bang, shoulder in. Dislodges the ball.
Well, it's been an eventful first 2 minutes back in rugby for Craig Grinnell.
Yeah, I think he might need a few stitches in that. Daniel won't be very happy. Daniel Lowe's going back on, just put his tracksuit on, nice and warm on the bench. He's back on. Oh, I think that was his own player.
Yes, it was.
I think that was
Gethin Jenkins.
Gethin Jenkins, forearm smash. Own player.
On away,
Well, we're into the final quarter.
And it's very difficult to see how we know he had the wrong player, because there's not one ball broken in the Ospreys.
Still just the 1 point separating them, and one mistake could be vital.
I don't see why Ryan Powell is kicking for the touchline. He doesn't need to kick to the touchline. He needs to keep the ball in play. You know, just Ryan, you know, just keep the ball in play. Meek them force the ball. Look at this. Matthew Jones on the wing. Gavin Henson has dropped back. He doesn't need Spice is back. Make them play the ball.
The crowd today at the Arms Park, 8,000. Another good holiday crowd.
Yeah, great crowd, because you know, if it had been dry conditions today, I'm sure there's a couple of thousand hungover people here as well.
I think the wind and the rain has cleared a few heads this afternoon. That's gone forward, isn't it?
No, played on. I think that was a knock on, but he's going to be taking it to touch anyway, so it's only a 10 yards difference. There's the kick. Does it go forward? See where he picks the ball up. Yeah. That is a knock on. Or a forward pass.
To himself, yeah.
But whatever it was, Nigel almost got it wrong.
James Bater coming on for Andy Lloyd. Very useful replacement to have as well.
Yeah, now it's Cardiff. We'll be looking at the clock. You know, it's been a great performance by the Ospreys. Discipline has been superb once again.
Martin Williams, the captain, in the thick of things. Ben Evans in charge of the ball at the moment, and he's lost it. It's so disappointing when the pack puts in the hard work. You've got to graft away, and then you see the ball spilt at the end of it. Salayali, lovely pass to Andrew Millward. Good call from Richie Pugh outside him as well. Spice, Matthew Jones, Henson gives Shane Williams a run. Johnny Wharton is quick enough though, and he just side foots it or knees it into touch in the end, I think.
And this is not into the Ospreys. This is where they'll try and get something. Psychologically, if they get a three-pointer, Blues will have to have 2 penalties or a try then. Great pass by Elvis. Millward knew he didn't have the legs. Richie Pugh was there.
Not really a great day to have those flowing locks, is it? All over the place in this wind.
I don't think you get away with ponytails anymore.
Remember, after this game, another important one between two Welsh regions. Scarlets against the Dragons from Stradey Park, live on S4C Club Rugby. And tomorrow afternoon, 5 o'clock on BBC Two Wales, highlights of all the weekend's actions.
I think the officials, you know, done well today, and Nigel on both linesmen in difficult conditions. You know, the game has flowed.
Yeah. you've got to get a bit of leeway in conditions like this, and fair play, they've done well.
Can it come down? God, that's why you're down.
Once again, it's nice to see a Welshman in charge of 2 Welsh regions.
Yes.
Hands away, Bruce! Back, go back, go back.
Bader leads the charge. And the Blues now have a spell of defending to do. Can the Ospreys nail it from here?
Hands away, Bruce! Hands away! Back!
Ospreys being as patient as they possibly can. Andrew Millward lets Richie Pugh do the ripping work. Bader fumbles. And again, disappointment.
We're gonna pick up and lost, okay?
No. You know, with that mistake, ball will go back to one of
26 scored, 15
the Blues players, whether it be Craig Morgan or McLeod, and this ball will end up in the Ospreys half, just by one simple mistake. John Yapp is back on, Quinnell is back on, John Yapp, you know, one thing, he's a great potential, but his discipline has let him down in previous matches. In the game, so tight, can't afford to make any errors today.
Interesting battle now with Gethin Jenkins having swapped over to the tight head, because he's up against Duncan Jones, both of whom are vying for the #1 shirt for Wales. Good clearance by the Ospreys in the end. It's terribly untidy.
I think the Ospreys, who's got that? I think it's anyone's guess. Where is it? Here we are. Come back into this game now, the Ospreys, haven't they?
Barry Williams, hard-working as ever, leading the way. Spice, Matthew Jones, Adrian Durston. No way through there. Newman, back to Spice.
Tackles are ferocious.
They really are. It's very physical out there. Another one. Was that forward? Yes, it was.
Great, you know, big hits, very big hits by both sides.
Back a few, 1 second time.
Barry Williams, boom, big hit.
And Schubert first, then Gethin Jenkins. It is very, very physical out there. And even though it may look, when you look at the ball stats, the number of handling errors, it's being forced because it's such hard tackling going in there.
You know, the commitment levels of both sides have been immense.
Keep it square.
Again, handling errors of Blues. When you're playing with the wind, sometimes, as I mentioned, it's more difficult.
Thank you.
I think he's got the respect
Don't
of all
worry,
the
let him
players,
settle.
hasn't he,
Let the
Nigel
ball
Owens?
come in. Thank you. Let him bind. Set. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Hit by Spice again, and he's lost the ball. Knock on there, yes.
Again, Nigel Owens in the right place to spot it.
Good hit by Spice. As I said, look at that. It shouldn't really be a match there for a big number 8 and a scrum half. Spice just lodged the ball. It's getting colder up here as well. Hope Mike and Eddie are nice and warm in studio.
It's warming up out there, certainly, as Ryan Jones gets within 10 metres.
Oh.
But it was betwixt and between Barry Williams and James Bader.
No.
Neither of them in the end sure who should leave it and who should go for it.
Maybe that's the chance. They've got to put pressure on the scrum now, try and spoil the Cardiff Blues ball if they want to stay in this area. If not, ball will go to Craig Morgan or McLeod, and then whack, he'll be back.
Stay down, back row, back.
Very good scrum again.
Good work by the Ospreys 8.
The thing is collapsed
Too
though.
untidy, same ball.
Jason Spice was doing his best to get the put in.
Too untidy.
Trying to influence Nigel Owens, but it'll be the second shot for the Blues.
It's good play by the Ospreys, Parkers, and they know how important it is to try and get him on bad ball, try and keep this good field position. This is better by Cardiff.
Ryan Powell is struggling.
Yeah, he is struggling.
He took early on.
I think he's got to make a decision. Can he stay on? Because it is crucial. You know, his kicking from the base of the scrum could be crucial. You need to get good field position.
Half an hour of the second half gone. Not a point scored in that period. And it's the Ospreys who will be happy with that, because the clock is ticking for the Blues now.
It's been down to good defence and good discipline by the Ospreys that they've kept the Blues down to 9 points. There's 13 minutes left, I think.
I don't suppose that conditions will be any better down at Stradey Park for the other big game of the afternoon. It's live on S4C in just over an hour's time.
Tackles away!
You happen to be travelling back after this game, and you can catch up with the highlights tomorrow afternoon.
Roll away, Blues!
Neat chip from Matthew Jones. Oh, lovely play from Sebayali to Bishop.
Oh!
And Richie Pugh couldn't get it though. Some great skills there. Absolutely fabulous to see that. Lovely chip from Matthew Jones. Superb work from Sebayali.
Great pass. Great pass. Oh, just lovely chip. Craig Morgan is up. Bang, lovely pass. Reminiscent of Tim Horan in the 91 World Cup against Ireland. The Ospreys are really turning the screw here now, not allowing the Blues to get a good field of position, no possession. Doing extremely well, the Ospreys pack.
Well, it's not an afternoon for a winger, but a little bit of skill like that lift the whole team.
Oh, they've turned it over. No, they haven't turned it back.
Jonathan Thomas. Ryan Jones. Yak with a tackle. But they're camped on the Blues 22 now. Henson back towards those forwards again. That's where the Ospreys want to keep it. Spice.
Now it's the Blues' turn to keep their discipline. They're edging closer and closer to the try line. And they know one score could be the difference.
No heroics, not too much width from the Ospreys. Can they produce a bit of magic though? As the tackle comes in on Gavin Henson.
Well, they've got to keep it tight because they've got no one out wide.
Good discipline so far by the Blues, and the Ospreys just keeping possession. Let the clock tick down and see if a mistake comes from the Blues. As long as they don't make one themselves, and Baker did well to control it. He's got them another couple of inches closer to that Blues try line.
All in the ante, the forwards, the backs.
Great disciplined work from the Ospreys. Spice again now, for the first time puts it out, and that makes it more difficult for Durston. He's isolated. Now support arrives.
I think that's turnover. No, it's not.
Again,
it's been recycled.
Henson. And Millward there to cushion the tackle. Sebayali tries to burrow his way through. That is the try line in the background. That's the corner flag. Barry Williams. Great flicker, but it's gone forward, and Matthew Jones was home, but in vain. 21 phases of play the Ospreys went through there. That's phenomenal. Well, it was brilliant work control-wise by the Ospreys until the very last second.
Now then,
hands out, both sides.
you've got to try and get away from here.
Pressure was on Craig Morgan in his own goal area. James Baker was the
great pressure. I think both back throws have been immense.
Only remaining, and it has been, as so often the case, the team playing against the elements that have pulled out all the stops.
Keep out,
Ryan Jones with a pickup to Spice. Spice dragged back on the try line by Craig Morgan.
Good tackle. Could he have gone low?
Here comes Barry Williams. He's held up short. Henson goes low, but can't get the ball to ground. Schubert keeps it off. Ooh, the Blues were looking for a turnover, but the Ospreys have got the scrum. Well, this is great pressure from the Ospreys, and the score would surely clinch it now.
It's a big scrum. Big scrum. The back row lifted from the Cardiff Blues.
Great control by Ryan Jones and the whole Ospreys 8. He's keeping straight, picked up by Ryan Jones. Powell gets the tackle in. Ryan Jones is held up the ball to ground. Great defence by the Blues in the end. What a good scrum though.
Yeah, maybe now it's down. It was when I blew the whistle. That's good listening. Keep behind all the time.
Well, they'll do the same again, I dare say. This is desperate times now for the Blues players, coaches, management and supporters.
Keep it up, can you take it down?
Ryan Jones to Spice. Spice is there this time. Game, set and match, the Ospreys.
That is a fantastic try. I thought he could have made it the first time. Back row was slow on the blind side, and Spice, same as the last play, went and got over. Just goes early. Schubert can't get to him. He's gone too late, Schubert. Watch him. Nathan Jones has gone first for 8, Ryan Jones. Schubert's too slow. Spice has got him for pace. Well worked try. Just watch the reaction of the Ospreys players. That is the end.
Well, it was a sucker punch really, because the drive came from the pack from the first scrum. The Blues had to stay down to withhold it for the second, and Ryan Jones could go wide and put over Jason Spice.
Well, maybe this is, the difference. A side that's been winning for most of the season against a side that hasn't been winning. Just the confidence, just the winning habit to hang on in there and get the result.
Gavin Henson, well struck conversion, but not good enough in the end. It keeps the Blues within a losing bonus point, but they're 2 scores away, and with only a minute and a half of normal time remaining. Didn't go forward from Barry Williams, and good reaction from Jonathan Thomas. Now it's all about discipline for the Ospreys. A converted try would do it.
I think their forwards have been immense in the second half, the Ospreys. I know, an opportunity now for the Blues, but they now know they have to score. They can edge up and go offside if in this situation.
Well, it was always going to be a tough one, for a lot of right reasons, Jonathan, because it's been very hard fought out there. But you're the one who's got to sort out the one player who's going to get the Man of the Match award.
Yeah, it's been very difficult. I think Robert Sidoli's played extremely well. Well, everyone's played extremely well in both packs of forwards. But I think Martin Williams just edges it for his first half performance. He is my Man of the Match. He'd be disappointed. I think that Richie Pugh has pushed him close. Spice has pushed him close. I think I have to go for Martin Williams.
Well, there's going to be about 4 minutes of stoppage time, I think. 5 minutes of stoppage time, in fact. Nigel Owen has just told the players, so Gareth Williams will have 5 minutes play.
They have to be patient now. You saw how much patience the Ospreys showed, and a high level of commitment. No mistakes, and they just went through the phases, the determination to get the scrum charged down by Beta, give them the opportunity to score that try. Now Cardiff Blues have got to do exactly the same. They've got 5 minutes. If they can go through the phases and work towards that try line, they can still win this game.
Robert Sidoli deserved the generous applause he got from the Arms Park crowd. He's had a superb game.
Keep bound, back row.
Powell brought down by Richie Pugh. Another one, as Jonathan was saying, came so close to getting the Man of the Match award. Budget gets his first thrust towards the Ospreys 22. The Ospreys have to keep their discipline for the remaining 4 minutes. The lead is a slim one. Martin Williams, McLeod, again Richie Pugh got the tackle in.
They just need to go forward here. They need the ball carriers to pick up and go, and the big ball carriers to pick up and go.
They chose a small one in Gareth Williams, and he just came off the bench. Not really up to speed. And that's the first phase completed by the Ospreys. They've defended, they've got the turnover they wanted, they've got the possession and a chance to try and get away from that 22. Ryan Jones did very well indeed and continued to do so. Bishop to Shane Williams.
Right tactic.
Rhys Williams. So now the Blues have a long way to get back down there. McLeod favours the boot. Henson was waiting. Tries to return with interest. Nice take by McLeod. Sets himself up this time. And makes absolutely sure.
They need more than that though.
Yeah, spot on.
3.5 to go, David Davis said.
Well, is it another case of so nearly for the Blues? They've had a few of those recently. A couple against Gloucester in the Heineken Cup. The one against the Dragons. One against Leicester previous to that. Leinster rather previous to that as well.
It's just been a game of two halves, I feel, and it's cliche, but against the elements, the teams have gone extremely well.
Seveali's produced a couple of bits of magic. Great support from James Baker. Richie Pugh, and he's called it forward. And that is so unlucky of Richie Pugh.
That is so unlucky. I'd like to look at that.
And he could have taken the bottle of champagne of Martin Williams if that would have stood. I think not standing.
The two of them. Is this forward? It is forward, but Nigel Owens, I think he could have let that go. I mean, it was a great way to finish it off. This man again, dangerous, close to the forwards. But that would have been a good finish for the Ospreys.
2.5. Let's go.
He's the one who's produced a little bits of magic, Elvis Seveali.
There's Bishop.
His finger for David Bishop by the look of it.
And his finger pulled back in.
And he's straight back in the middle.
Tackles away!
Very awkward ball for Nick McLeod to deal with.
Great chase again by the Ospreys back row. Makes such a difference, you know, with the wind behind him. If you give him time, he's going to put 60 yards. Pressure, he's just closing it down.
It's ticking away from the Blues. Safe line out for Ryan Jones, and Barry Williams wouldn't mind keeping it in there for the minute and a half that's left of this game. It has been a very, very disciplined performance from the Ospreys, as typified by that. It's been an afternoon for the big ball-carrying forwards, just to do the hard stuff. Nothing spectacular, no 60-metre breaks, no fancy stuff. Just take it up there, keep it in, recycle it, and keep the ball away from your opponents.
Yeah, it's been a superb second half performance. You know, as the Cardiff Blues did in the first half, not pretty, but I don't know why he did that.
That's not what Barry Williams or Lynn Jones would have wanted from Matthew Jones. But it's given the Blues a lifeline. Shanklin trying to run away from trouble. Running into Andrew Millward. This is the final minute of play.
Oh, I think he's turned it over again.
Blue ball.
Nigel Owens looks at both watches and says this is the last play. It's do or die for the Blues from their own 22.
Hold, please.
Well, his opponent's kicking in anyway.
Last play. Nothing silly, please. Engage.
Give it a go, nothing to lose.
Stay down, back row, stay down.
McLeod, can the Blues conjure up a bit of magic? No, they can't. That is it. That's the end of it. Ospreys are already celebrating. And once again, it's so near, but so far for the Cardiff Blues. But the Ospreys showed their mettle, and those two players, the two number 7, congratulate each other and deserve the congratulations of everybody. They really personify what an effort it was out there by the two backs. Atrocious conditions. It wasn't classic rugby, but for anybody who loves this game, it was enthralling stuff. And it was so tough. And the Ospreys toughed it out that little bit better than the Blues. A losing bonus point for the Blues, a win for the Ospreys by 15 points to 9.
Yeah, they were at half-time, they'd worked themselves in a good position to win this game. But the Ospreys came out, stepped it up a couple of gears, and deservedly won it. You know, it was a big performance in the second half by the Ospreys pack.
The Ospreys stay top of the pile. They were the ones who got the tries on the day. They were the ones who got the win on the day. It's finished. The Cardiff Blues 9, the Neath Swansea Ospreys 15.
It was a game made by the conditions. The Blues had the wind against them in the first half. They played well enough, apart from this one moment of madness on their own line. Richie Pugh into the opportunistic try. And then, in the second half, it all brewed up a bit. The Gavin Henson hit, the Craig Quinnell entrance. And then, Jason Spice for the only try of the second half into the teeth of the gale. Game, set and match to the Ospreys.
Yeah, let's have a quick look at the stats. Well, the Blues, who had possession and territory in the first half, gave that to the Ospreys in the second half. 12 times the Ospreys again. You know, they were twice in the opposition 22 in that first half. They turned it around into the win. That's a magnificent forward effort. And if you look, penalty count there, 6 each. It's pretty low for a game in these conditions, and that's a testament to the discipline of both sides. And then the rest of it, the Ospreys turned it over 9 times, which they won't be happy with. But most of those were in the first half when they had the win, and they were much more disciplined with the ball in hand in the second half.
I'm just thinking of how the Blues played first 20 minutes when they played so well and with such discipline into the win.
Yeah.
And then the last 20 minutes, well, they're Ospreys. I mean, we're all over them.
I think in the first 20 minutes of the second half, they just completely lost their way, and they didn't put the ball, you know, they didn't put the Ospreys under any pressure. The Ospreys' defence was magnificent, but the Blues didn't really test them. You know, they didn't keep it for enough phases in the right areas where you think they might sort of get a penalty or something and get their noses in front. And then the last 20 minutes, the Ospreys just blew them away.
The Blues must be hurting, even though they have the man of the match, Martin Williams. He's with Stuart.
Yeah, thanks very much, Eddie. Very mixed emotions, Martin, I should imagine. Same old story to an extent. The Blues losing, yourself turning in a great performance that wins you the man of the match. Let me give you the champagne there. You must have thought that one was in the bag at half-time.
Yeah, we did half-time. You know, we thought dominated really the first half against the wind. But full credit to the Ospreys, you know, they turned the screw in that second half, and we just couldn't get the vital score we needed second half.
Disappointment with your form early season. Things seem to be coming together. That disappointment must be frustration now, and some of that must be personal perhaps, because I don't know how many turnovers you were responsible for individually, but the points just wouldn't come second half.
Yeah, it's like since Gloucester really in Europe, you know, the last 5 games we've been losing by 5-6 points. It's just we need a bit more clinical edge, and when we're in the opposition 22s, we need to start scoring tries, and at the end of the day, it's a basic game. That's what we need to do, and we're just not converting pressure into points really.
Ding dong bell. I should imagine the Ospreys pack won your respect today as well with the job they did second half.
Oh, most definitely. You know, there's quality world-class players in that pack, and second half I think Gav as well kicking was outstanding. But you know, I think we matched them up front this first half. But full credit to them. You know, they were more streetwise than us, I think, in the second half.
I was looking forward to the back row battle before the game, and especially the battle for possession. You had a great ding-dong there with Richie Pugh throughout.
Oh, he's a quality player. He's quite sharp. I couldn't catch him in the corner in the end there, but he's going to go a long way. But full credit, like you say, the rest of the boys as well. Our pack really dug it in. Just can't get that vital win again.
I enjoyed watching your contribution today. Well done on the man of the match. Let me bring in Lynn while smart in goes. Lynn, it was never in doubt, was it?
Oh, what a just, absolutely delighted with the result, and strong bench, and just turned the game then, and we managed to take control for the last quarter.
Yeah, you mentioned the bench there. It was very, very timely contributions there, but that second half there seemed to be a calm throughout the side that despite the work that you had to do, that win would come.
Yeah, well, I think we're on top of the league, and we're very confident. We're on top of our game at the moment. We've been at the bottom of our games. We know how difficult things can be, and Cardiff give us all the way to go. We knew there'd be a challenge here today, and they certainly put a lot of construction together out there. But as you rightly said, we're at the top of our game. We had a strong bench coming on, and we just took control there for the last quarter. And we are absolutely delighted with today's victory. Delighted.
Horrible conditions, very rewarding for you. Though you're a side that's known for a pacey, expansive game. Up the jumper stuff towards the end to close that game down.
Yeah, it was out of the Stuart Davis book of rugby today, and not too wide. But yeah, to win leagues, you've got to be able to adapt to all sorts of conditions in the Northern Hemisphere, and we showed today that we had a good set piece. We took control in really difficult conditions, and there we are.
Yeah, it was a good win. Well done.
Yeah, thank you.
The Ospreys in very different form, Jonathan, from the game against the Scarlets.
I don't know. I said the second half they were, immense. The defence was great and the discipline was very good. But Cardiff were the same in the first half. It's amazing how, against the elements, that you raise your game, isn't it?
I'm just thinking, Mike, that they can play one way and they can play another way.
Yeah, I think in that second half they just kept the ball, and I think at one point they went through 21 phases, and then there was a charge down, and that gave them the opportunity for a couple of scrums in this bottom corner, and they scored a great try from it. I think.